Hola estudiante, ¿cómo estás hoy? ¿Estás bien? ¿O estás mal? ¿O posiblemente estás cansado? Pues hoy estoy emocionada porque vamos a repasar lo que estudiamos en Español 1. Primero, ¿qué te gusta hacer en tu tiempo libre? ¿Correr? ¿Escuchar música? ¿Jugar videojuegos? ¿O nadar? A mí me gusta escuchar música en español. También me gusta cantar cuando estoy en el carro. Me encanta ir al centro comercial con amigos. Pero no me gusta hacer ejercicio o correr. A mí me gusta dormir tarde todas las mañanas. A veces me gusta leer. Pero por la mayor parte, a mí me gusta pasar tiempo con mi esposo, posiblemente en casa. Aunque me gusta salir a los restaurantes también. ¿Y tú? ¿Qué te gusta hacer? Okay, now that we've talked about some of those free time activities and what we like to do, we need to talk a little bit about some of the grammar that we learned in Spanish 1. Vamos a hablar de los pronombres. We're going to talk a little bit about pronouns. A pronoun or a pronombre is just how we talk about someone without actually saying their name. We would say he, she, I, you, things like that. Those are pronouns. They're just substitutes. I don't want to say in the third person, Señora Santiago walks the dog. That'd be really weird to say about myself. I would say I walk the dog. Makes a lot more sense. Now we want to use this chart to be able to organize these pronouns. Because if you remember from Spanish 1, that's how we conjugate. And if you haven't seen these charts before, don't freak out. It's just a helpful way for us English speakers that are trying to learn Spanish to just organize our thoughts. If you showed a native speaker these charts, they'd be like, what are you talking about? But it gives us a little bit more rhyme and reason as to what's going on when we're talking about different people in Spanish. So let's start off with our first pronombre or pronoun. You're going to want to write this on your own chart. First up is I. We all love talking about ourselves. Well, I in Spanish is yo. Repite, yo. Next up in the chart is you. Make sure that you keep each person in the correct section of the chart. If you mix them up, you're probably going to get confused later. You is tú in Spanish. Repite, tú. Bottom left on the chart is he, she, or you formal. You formal, you say? Well, what is that? Well, have you ever heard someone talking to someone directly, but out of respect, they don't talk to them directly? They talk about them, to them? Think of it like the king. A lowly servant is just not gonna say, hey king, yo, what's up? You want some tea? No, of course not, because he's not gonna talk to him so informally. Instead, he's gonna talk to the king and he's gonna say, would King Edward VI like a cup of tea? And he talks about him to him. Well, that's exactly what we do in Spanish, but on a much larger scale. Instead, they might use the you formal to talk to anyone that's older than them, just out of respect. And the you formal is just the exact same thing as the he, she form. So he, she, you formal in Spanish would be él, ella, or usted. El has an accent on the E so that it means he, because if you don't put that accent, it means the. The took out the trash. The? Who's the? You mean he took out the trash? Makes a lot more sense. Repite, él. Ella. Usted. Now remember, the double L is pronounced like a Y, so it's not ella, it's ella. And the top right of this chart is we, or nosotros in Spanish. Repite, nosotros. Next would be the y'all version of things. You're like, y'all? They say y'all in Spanish? Well, yes they do, in Spain. Or the equivalent of y'all anyways. And if you're not familiar with y'all, well, it's just you all, or you guys. Well, what y'all is in Spanish would be the vosotros form. Repite, vosotros. The vosotros form is used exclusively in Spain. We're not going to spend too much time on the vosotros form, and the reason being is because if you don't know the vosotros form, but you go to Spain and you speak Spanish, they're going to completely understand you. And also, it's pretty easy to pick up if you just spend a little time in Spain. And the last one on this chart is going to be they, them, or you guys formal. So that could be in Spanish, ellos, ellas, or ustedes. Ellos is used to describe a group of guys or a group of girls and guys mixed, while ellas is just a group of girls. Ustedes is when you want to talk to multiple people formally at the same time. Repite, ellos, ellas, ustedes. So if you look closely, you'll see that on the left side of this chart, it's all singular. I, you, he, she. Those are all singular people. But on the right side of the chart, it's all plural. We, y'all, they, you guys formal. And if you're trying to find it on this chart, let's say you want to talk about a book. Where would a book fit in this chart? Well, a book is singular, so it's not I, it's not you, it's an it. It's gonna go actually in the he, she category. Well, what if you're talking about multiple books? Where do you put multiple books on this chart? We want to put them on a shelf. Oh yeah, so we move from the singular side to the plural side of the chart, and them is in the they, them, you guys formal side. Now if you look at to and el, you'll notice that both of those have accents. Now normally in Spanish, a word will have an accent because it's trying to tell you how to pronounce the word. In English, good luck with that. There are hardly any indications of how to pronounce a word. See why I like Spanish a little bit more than English? Now there are exceptions to this rule in Spanish. For example, el and tu both have accents here, but that's because without the accents, it changes the word's meaning. Tu with the accent is you, tu without the accent is your, el with the accent is he, el without the accent is thee. So accents, if a word needs it, they really aren't optional. In Spanish, the general rule to pronouncing a word is that the second to last vowel has the most emphasis in a word. For example, let's just take a quick look at my last name, Santiago. The second to last vowel in Santiago is the A, so that's where the most emphasis is going to be. That's why I pronounce it Santiago. That's where my emphasis falls. But let's say there was an accent on the I. Then I would know that this word doesn't follow the general rule for pronunciation. Instead of the emphasis being on the second to last vowel, I know it has to be on that I. So in this case, the word would have to be pronounced Santiago. There's a slight difference, but you can hear it. Santiago, Santiago. Now, there's never an accent in Santiago. I'm just kind of using this as an example, but words with accents, they need them because they tell you how to pronounce it. So all that to say, just pay attention to your accents and make sure your tu and your el have an accent on them. Ok, para repasar. ¿Cómo se dice I en español? Yo. You. Tú. He or she. Él, ella. What is you formal? Usted. We. Nosotros. Y'all. Vosotros. They. Ellos, ellas. And you guys formal. Ustedes. Excelente, mis estudiantes. Buen trabajo. Hasta la próxima.